A lot of people want to leave the States right now because of the issues that's going on with the government, because of the health issues, health insurance always going up, food. People are just not eating healthy here. There's a ton more reasons why they want to leave the States. Obviously, because of COVID, inflation. Man, I can go on and on and on. And that's pretty much why I want to go back to Colombia and not stay here in the States, because it's just not worth it, guys. And don't get me wrong, I was raised here. I was born in Colombia, raised here in the States. I miss the snow like it is right now, snowing. I miss, go to the lake with my family, friends. There's a lot of things that you could do here, and you have a lot of freedom to do. But guys, there's way more out there in the world to explore, to live for. And I'm 42 years old now. It's not the main reason why I want to leave. I honestly, long story short, I just want to be able to take care of my family. And it has been very difficult, which is shocking, because anybody who's an immigrant, they want to leave their country. Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela. And they come here to live the American dream. Is this really the American dream, guys? I know it was 30 or 40 years ago, but is it really now? You know what I want to do, guys? I want to go back to Colombia and live the Colombian dream. I'm going to tell you why. If you can find an online job that pays $10 an hour, $10 an hour, guys, $10 freaking dollars an hour, you could literally make, it's equivalent to making like $4,000 monthly. If you ain't got a family, you got no kids, dude, you're living well. You're set. Now, you obviously, if you're getting paid online, you have to pay taxes, right? If it's a company here in the States, obviously if it's in the UK or another country, you don't have to, I mean, I guess it depends on their rules, but $1,000 per month, you can't feed yourself here in the States. You know what I mean? After rent and food and groceries. But $1,000 over there is equivalent to having 4 million pesos or more. And 4 million pesos, man, it's not like $1 million. 4 million pesos is actually like saying $4,000 here in the States. That's about how much I make. $4,000. My rent is $2,100. That's half of my paycheck. So imagine if I was making $2,000. I'd be making like $8,000 down there. Guys, you could really live well. And Colombia is not the only country. There are many, many, many countries that the dollar triples, quadruples, right? And I'm just talking about South America. I don't even include Thailand, Philippines. That's places I would love to go. Now, back to the topic on why people want to leave. I mean, here in the States, do we really know the shit that they're putting in our food? Huh? Do we really know what they're putting in our food? We don't. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was back in Colombia, I used to buy fruit from the fruit guy. I call him the fruit guy. The street vendors. Every single day. Really cheap. Cheaper than the grocery stores. And I remember, like, I'd buy like some apples, right? I remember I set a couple apples on my table. That apple, if you wouldn't eat it within like a couple days, the apple would rot. Why is it that here in the States, you buy some apples, you leave it there for 2 weeks, and it looks just like the apples that you bought when you first bought it? Why? Tell me why, guys. What's the reason? Oh, the chemicals that they put in our food. Right. So that's just one of the many reasons why I'm deciding to go back to Colombia. My wife doesn't want to go back because she knows what it's like there. It's beautiful. Now, if you have money, if you're making money online, what she's working on right now, then you could really make it down there. You could live really well. But the Apple thing, I mean, it's just great. It's really great. Now, there's a lot of things in the States that you can't do down there. And I'll be honest with you, I'll give you guys the truth. I'm not just trying to, give you all the positive. There's negatives too, just like any other country. Like if you're at like a local, I don't know, toy store or something. If you buy a toy, they generally will not give you your money back. Like if there's something wrong with it, they might change it, but they're not going to give you a refund like we do here. Like you could use a product in Walmart for like a month straight and then take it back and they'll give you your money back. You know what, guys? Not everything is materialistic in this world. Not everything is that's not what makes us completely happy. And if it makes you happy, material stuff, hey, more power to you. But eventually you will realize that it's not everything in this world. And that's what I learned when I went back to Colombia. When I was down there, I learned so much. It was just such an awesome experience. And that's one of the many things, guys, is that you learn to live a minimalistic life. I was walking more like I am right now. Remember my last video talked about, hey, you should get some more exercise if you're in your 20s. Do that. It's better for your health. Well, this is what I'm trying to do now. I mean, it's 20 years too late for me, but it's never too late in life. And so exercising is definitely a must. Down in Colombia, I walked less. I walked a lot less. I walked a lot more. I rarely drove. Had a motorcycle. That was just to get to work and back. Really cheap to get around on. Ubers are super, super, super inexpensive down there. And you don't even have to tip. Like down there, it's not a common thing to tip unless you're like at a fancy restaurant. Over here, it's more of a, it's part of the economy culture, I guess. But yeah, guys, here in the States, it's just getting so bad. I mean, the money that I'm making right now is not letting me hold up like I really want to take care of my family. And the whole point of this, going back, is to have financial freedom. If you take some money and you invest it in an apartment down there, which you can easily do if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 a month, you could save, or you could get a loan down there and you could buy an apartment easily. I mean, I'll talk about it in another video. They're not that expensive, not as expensive as here. And down there, there's a lot of loopholes that you have to go through. It's less of a hassle to buy property down there. People build, it's funny because it's different. I always think of it as like New York. People build their houses like one building on top of another, and let's say they'll build the first floor and then they built the second floor. They'll rent that out. Whatever money they make from that apartment, they build the third floor. So on and so on and so on. I have a friend who ended up, I don't remember where he went, but he ended up he worked his butt off and he sent a lot of money down to Colombia and he built himself a couple sets of apartments. Well, guess what, guys? He's now living off of that. I mean, he's still working, but that's completely passive income for him. So these are the things that I think about. I constantly think about, because I'm 42 years old, guys. I do not want to retire with no money. How are you going to depend on Social Security? That's a joke. It's a complete joke, guys. The government here will take you for anything that you have if you don't know how to handle it. So that's one of the main reasons why I want to go back. And another video, I'll tell you guys more about Colombia. At least in the city that I lived in, where I was born, Cali, Colombia. For all you Colombians out there, saludos. I'm telling you guys, down there are so many good things about it. And it's not just not just like just eating healthy, but it's also just the living commodities that you have down there. Like I said, you don't have to have a car to go to the grocery store. You could literally live like a couple blocks from the grocery store in a pretty nice neighborhood. You could walk there or take an Uber. It's really cheap. But there is a lot of commodities that you can't get down here. Here in the States, you have to take a car to go just anywhere. You literally have to take a car to go anywhere. It's not easy here, you know? Like, how are you gonna, like, if I wanted to get to, I don't know, to, if I want to go to the mall right now, the mall's literally by car, when it's not snowing, it's 30, 40 minutes away. Over there, like, you take an Uber, it's like 15 minutes, and it's just super cheap. If I don't have a car here, an Uber is gonna charge me at least 40 to 50 bucks. And I live in the Nashville area. So yeah, guys, definitely going back to underdeveloping country. Sometimes it's good for your soul. Sometimes it's good for your physical condition down there. I just know that they don't put as many chemicals as they do in our food here. And I know, you know, down there they have to put something, right? Farmers have to spray something to kill the insects or whatever they're called. But point is that I feel it in my body, you know. I felt a lot healthier when I was down there. I don't know if it was the the air that I was breathing, obviously the food that I was eating, a lot of chicken broth and a lot of natural fruit, organic fruit. By the way, down there they have a lot of different types of fruit that you can't find up here, like what is it called? Passion fruit, which is maracuja in Spanish. Passion fruit, you can't find it up here, and if you do, it's probably canned and it's more expensive, which means it has a bunch of chemicals, right? They got lulo. I don't know how to call that, what that's called, but there's a lot of different types of fruit that you can make juices out of. You can make natural juices out of that stuff, man, and that's definitely a plus for the healthy side. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna miss this though. I really am. I mean, look at this. It's amazing, you know. I mean, I don't live in too bad of a neighborhood, but you guys, I mean, December was a month that you could, like, a lot of people celebrate down there, by with their families, end up having parties like right when December hits, you know. It's just a lot more festive and happy down in December. You know, they have a lot of different activities that they do throughout the week. It doesn't have to be Friday or Saturday, and there's, you know, people are just so much more happier down there. It's crazy, it really is. But yeah, how's it going, man? It's going on. Yeah, guys, Colombia is, sure you guys have heard a lot about it. If you haven't, I'd love to inform you more. I'd love to make videos once I get down there too, to show you guys what it's about. I actually got some old videos. I'm gonna include them in here. You're gonna see. I'm gonna include some videos because I lived my 20s down there, my 20s and 30s, and I'm telling you, those are the best years of my life. I could not believe it. It was a blessing in disguise, because when I first went down there, I didn't want to be down there. I felt so American, but I was born there, raised here, you know. I was just going to school to begin with, starting to go to school, and working 2 jobs, working at a restaurant, TGI Fridays, and the Boys and Girls Club. And it was hard. It was hard at the time. I was illegal, you know, and a lot of people gave me opportunities, luckily, but I didn't want to live like that for the rest of my life. So yeah, I mean, what I'm telling you guys is coming from a guy who was born there, raised here, and then had to go back. And the only reason why I'm here in the States is because my wife wanted to be here, which is totally fine, guys. And no disrespect to my first country, my childhood country, but it's you know, it's a matter of life and death situation, meaning that you have to think about your health, not just your physical health, but your mental health, like I talked about in my other videos. We have a big issue here in the States, which is mental issues, you know. A lot of kids, I mean, kids are shooting up schools, which is crazy. I was working around the corner from a school that got shot up here in Nashville. You know, it was like a month later it happened. I wasn't working at that school, and I do work at some schools actually. We do some AV work, but that happened. When that happened, man, I honestly I thank God that I was not anywhere near close to that school when it happened. And my heart goes out to those kids' parents and the director. So yeah, those are the things that I also worry about it. I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids that I have to worry about. My twins that are 5 years old. My oldest is 15, you know. So, you know, I have to try to think every day. I'm like, well, they don't have 100%, you know, I know they got these, like, I think they call them SOs, officers, or SRs. I don't know what they're called. They're like police officers that stay at schools and take care of the school, but it's not the same, guys. I mean, anybody with an AK can run up in that school and shoot up the building, which is sad, you know. So those are the kind of things I have to think about for my kids, for my wife. I mean, we're a huge family, you know. We're 5, and I know that in Colombia it's not 100% safe either, but at least I know the streets. I know how it works. You know, you don't have to constantly worry about your kids getting shot at a school, in a private school. Imagine that. It's crazy. It really is. Talking about bettering your life, I actually have another video. I'm gonna link it somewhere here, and I'm talking about, you know, like what I would have done differently if I were able to go back to my 20s. But this is why I'm telling you guys about Colombia and other countries that, you know, you make 10 bucks an hour. Like I said, that's just the base start. I mean, you can't get by with 10 bucks an hour here. There's no way 10 bucks an hour here doesn't get you anywhere. But over there, I mean, think about it. It's like just times it by 4. And I'm talking about Colombia. 4 million pesos. That's like $4,000 a month. And if you don't have a family, man, you're set. You're set until you know. And that's just for a job online. While, you know, on the side, you could do other little side hustles. And like I also talk about in the last video that I uploaded about how I made $1,000 before hitting 1K on my other YouTube channel, which is strictly dedicated to shorts. I'll try to link that as well. But yeah, guys, Colombia is definitely where it's at. So it's not getting any easier, guys. You know, government's about to change. Hopefully it'll get better. Maybe it won't. But I don't depend on the government. You know, it all depends on you. It all depends on what you decide to do with yourself. You know, I always encourage everybody to not just, if you can't go back to school, if you can't afford to go to the university, try to take some online courses. It doesn't have to be at a school. It could be for marketing. It could be for engineering. It could be for AI. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm preparing myself for when I get down there. Because once I get down there, I'm not going to just teach English online. And I will talk about that in another video. Because I could teach teachers to teach online easily and make good money, make decent money. But I want more, you know. I went to school for audio engineering, and it's not enough, you know what I mean? Times have changed. Unfortunately, I went to school, ended up going to school again during COVID time. Right before COVID hit in 2019, I went to school from September 2019 all the way to 2021. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out for me to find that dream job that I was trying to work hard for. Well, if you found any takeaways from this video, like and hit that subscribe button. Ciao.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Making a YouTube video, helping the world out. No, mi amor. No, a mí no.